Yo, Kibwe of the Boxing One here, and I just wanted to give y'all a quick little macro analysis of the finals and my thoughts so far. Here's what I have to say. These have been the best finals I've seen of this decade so far. And by decade, I mean the 2020s, obviously. I mean, game one alone, game one alone beats out last year's finals. Beats out the 2023 finals in terms of quality basketball being played on that court and in terms of matchups. I mean, I haven't seen two teams perfectly matched up so well in a final series. Like, they're the Pacers play with a lot of pace, and OKC forces a lot of turnovers. I mean, there's no better clash of styles, and it's shown in games one, two, and three, but especially game three, where both these teams came out swinging. I mean, Chet has been unstoppable through games two and three, but especially game three. You couldn't put anyone on him. You really could have put anyone on him. Thomas Bryant, barbecue chicken. Miles Turner, barbecue chicken. And it's just been amazing to see these guys just take each matchup personally. Because I know Chet's taking that matchup personally. Same thing with J-Dub and Neesmith. I mean, it's so much fun. It's been amazing. But let me just talk about the notes for each team and how I think each team could build off of this. Because respectfully, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I am going off the top of the dome right now. So here we go. OKC, they're down in the series. I think be they need to address their issues more. But OKC, why is Isaiah Hartenstein only getting 15 minutes a game? Hmm? Like, I don't understand how Coach Dagenau sees that the Pacers won the rebounding battle game one. They won the game. And how the Thunder won the rebounding battle in game two, leaning on some of those double big lineup minutes, and they won that game. They destroyed them that game. I'll admit, game three, the Thunder won the rebounding battle. But but respectfully, game three is a nebulous performance. As much as I did call the Benedict Mathurin performance, he's not dropping 27 of 9-12 shooting again. So respectfully, you need Mark Dagenau. You need to lean in to that double big lineup. Play the center. Make Rick Carlisle play Thomas Bryant. Make him play Thomas Bryant. Make him be like, oh man, I guess I gotta get some Tony Bradley minutes in. And this is no disrespect to these players because these players have produced well within the playoffs. But in terms of the worst players on the floor at the time, it's going to always be that five position for the Pacers. And that is no disrespect to them, but that is just the truth. And you have to hammer that. Force Rick Carlisle to play Thomas Bryant heavy minutes. Then I need you to lean on Alex Caruso more. He, I'm sorry, I understand why Casey Wallace is in the game because his pressure is key for setting the tone for the Thunder defense. But I'm sorry, Alex Caruso could do the same thing and play the lanes, which is far more effective than what I believe Casey Wallace will do. And honestly, you could just split the minutes between the two of them, but I believe Alex Caruso has to start just to set the tone because the Pacers are going to pressure Shea. They're going to pressure J-Dub. And when these plays break down and when these offensive sets break down, and you need that third effort scoring, here's Alex Caruso making the right cut, making the right read, making all the right plays. Um, and yeah, in all honesty, the Thunder just need to lean on their veterans more. Uh, that's all I have to say. You have a champion on your team You literally have a champion. J-Dub himself said that bubble ring was one of the hardest rings to win. And Alex Caruso has one of those rings. Lean on your veteran. You traded for him for that reason. You need to lean on him. And same thing with Isaiah Hartenstein. Lean on the double big lineup minutes. Because they can't guard that. They literally cannot guard that. Miles Turner's not going to be able to box out Isaiah Hartenstein. Y'all need to be. Not only should y'all be winning the boards, y'all should be dominating the boards. There is no excuse. No excuse, respectfully. And I'm sick and tired of not seeing the double big lineup starting when rebounding is what's winning these games. What? It's such basic math. It's just basic. If you are able to dominate the offensive glass, and then you're just able to prevent the Pacers from doing what they want to do, playing up-tempo offense. You literally take the pace out the Pacers by dominating the offensive glass. And I don't understand how a coach of the year sees Tom Thibodeau neglect playing his backup big man who got second chance possessions for the team consistently and says, yeah, I'm going to repeat that. What? But that's it for the Thunder, respectfully. Those are the two. Also, Jalen Williams, I still believe should be playing some more minutes. The only problem is, how do you find those minutes for him? But yeah, and respectfully, OKC has needed to consolidate this rotation for a long time. For this playoff rotation for a long time. OKC is generally going through the problem of too many chefs in the kitchen. They have too many good players on their bench. Now Mark Daigneault is like, dang, I want to play this guy, but I have to sacrifice these minutes. And I can't blame him for that. And that's kudos to Sam Presti for doing his job. But Mark, you gotta make some cuts to these minutes. You shouldn't be running 12-man rotations in the NBA Finals. Or 11-man rotations. 10-man should be max. Come on. Let's get it together. Now for the Pacers side of the ball, let's see. They are up in the series. However, I will say, move away from those Thomas Bryant minutes. The center minutes have been bad. Run the small ball lineup minutes. The small ball lineup. The small ball. Siakam's small ball 5 minutes have been really effective. They've been really effective because Mark Daigneault doesn't want to play Isaiah Hartenstein. My bad, y'all. My mind is still on the lack of a double big. But you have to lead on these small ball minutes. And in all honesty, yeah, that's the main concern I have for the Pacers, respectfully. Also, wait, no, Tyrese, you need to be more aggressive out the gate. I need Tyrese Haliburton to be more aggressive. I understand because last game, look, game 3, what we saw is Pascal Siakam start out aggressive, and then Tyrese started to take over slowly. I need that flipped around immediately. Just because if Tyrese Haliburton's able to get a few buckets in the first quarter, that opens up the passing lanes so much for him. And that's where he really does his damage. And the Pacers just need to start running more and more sets to get them going. And now, talk about the improvements that each team can make. And now I think I want to talk about where I really think this series will be won. Because it's not with the stars. As much as I do love Shea, for the Thunder side of the ball, it's going to be Shea. It's going to have to be Shea, J-Dub, and Chet stepping up. But it's also going to have to be that bench as well. For the Pacers side of the ball, it's going to be that bench. That bench is going to have to continue cooking. Which means I think they need to win the game 4 tomorrow. The Pacers need to win game 4. Yes, it is a must-win for the Thunder, but it is more of a must-win for the Pacers because if they can win game 4, they're basically playing for game 6 to get home and then get the bench to close out the series. That's just the truth. And, depth has always mattered in the NBA and in the NBA, but it never really translated to the postseason that well But now we are in an era where that starts to translate to the postseason just because the talent gaps, the standard of talent has significantly risen within the NBA. And I think there has been a a slight shrink in talent gap between that 15th man on your roster and that star. Maybe not the star, but like the fifth best starter on the team. There's not that big of a gap there for either of these teams, respectfully. Because I could see Benedict Mathurin starting over Aaron Nesmith. Shout out Aaron Nesmith. Aaron Nesmith's been amazing. But I could see a world where a coach is like, yeah, I want to start Mathurin just because he has more on-ball creation. I can understand that, right? It just depends on what your lineup needs in that moment. And I understand why Aaron Nesmith starts because you don't need that much creation when you have Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam. Aaron Nesmith is the perfect 3-and-D guy to bridge those guys. But both these teams are deep as hell, and it's going to be down to the bench minutes. That second, third quarter, those are when those are the minutes where this series is won. And that's why it's just such compelling basketball. Because you have to be locked in. You have to be. You cannot enjoy these finals and just be a casual fan and be on your phone. No, you have to put your phone down and lock in. And that's why these finals have just been the I'm smiling every time I watch these games because they're amazing. Both these teams are throwing haymakers, but game 3 was utterly I keep on reiterating the point, but game 3 was amazing. TJ McConnell having 5 steals was amazing to watch. Um, watching Benedict Mathurin have his legacy game, Syracuse legend, by the way. Benedict Mathurin have his legacy game was amazing to watch. I mean, Lou Dort was shooting perfect from the field. I want to say he was starting the game 3 for 3 from 3. That's a tongue twister. But no, he started game 3 of 3 from 30-point range. I mean, goodness gracious. Both of these teams have shown up to play. And honestly, look, I said this multiple times before. I do have the Pacers in 6, but I want game 7. I want a game 7 in OKC. And it just, there's so many beautiful things happening in this story. Because it feels like, yeah, on one hand, you have the underdog story, but on the other hand, we have the potential crowning of a new face in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This series is supposed to be his moment. This series is supposed to be. Sorry about that, y'all. Siri decides a great idea to open up just randomly, literally randomly. I turned it off. But this series feels like Shai's like I hate to draw the parallel to Michael Jordan, but this feels like Shai's crowning moment. In the same way the 1993 series was Michael Jordan's crowning moment. And it's just something that I can't get out of my head because there are so many parallels, except for the fact the MVP is on Shai's side now. But Shai is like the best player right now in this series. But man, it just feels like a David versus a Goliath story. Except in this case, Goliath is like we know Goliath isn't Goliath yet. Like, right? Like Goliath isn't fully grown. Goliath is still like going through puberty. You feel me? Like Goliath is like, yeah, Goliath's gonna max out like 6'11". They're at 6'7", 6'8". We know this is not gonna be the best version of this Thunder team, but my goodness, if the Pacers can pull it off and defeat this team, we are going to have some uncomfortable conversations about this being one of the best finals runs ever from a player in Tyrese Halliburton in terms of clutch. We're going to have a conversation about Pascal Siakam being one of the best number 2 options of all time just because he would be able to bring 2 franchises their first title in history. That's unprecedented. And then on the coaching side, you have Rick Carlisle, who would just he'd automatically be in all-time discussions. In my books, he is. He would be, because he helped build the 2004 Pistons. He was the coach before Larry Brown took them over the top. He was the guy who helped build that culture within Detroit. And then he helped um coach an unprecedented 2011 championship run. I mean, we and then you add on this Pacers ring on top of that, we have a conversation about one of the best coaches and one of the most adaptable coaches, because he was able to help build a championship team in the early 2000s, helped coach a team to a title in the early 2010s, and comes back 14 years later and coaches another championship team, all with three different distinct play styles and three different distinct eras. We're gonna have some very uncomfortable conversations. But man, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just gonna talk about this. I could just yap about this series for hours and hours and hours. But man, this is one of those series that I will tell my kids about. This is just one of those, and I'm enjoying every second of it. Ratings be damned, super teams be damned. Man, this is fun. I'm enjoying it, man. I hope y'all are too. If y'all haven't, please like, follow my IG. It's in the bio. Subscribe, comment, and peace, y'all. Okay, now